The coffee was cold. Michael sat at the corner table and stared at the cup in front of him. He had been holding it for almost 20 minutes. He did not remember ordering it. He did not remember walking into this small cafe. But here he was. Alone. Again. Outside, the rain was soft. It touched the window like a whisper. The street was empty except for one woman walking slowly under a black umbrella. She stopped. She looked up at the sky. Then she looked at the cafe. Before we continue, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Michael looked away. He was 55 years old. He had a good job. He had a nice house. He had 2 children who loved him. But inside, he felt like an empty room. A room where someone used to live. A room where laughter used to echo. Now there was only silence. His phone buzzed. A text from his daughter, Emma. "Dad, are you okay? You didn't answer earlier." He typed back slowly. "I'm fine, sweetheart. Just thinking." She sent back a heart emoji. He smiled a little. Then the smile faded. The door of the cafe opened. A small bell rang. Michael did not look up. He heard footsteps. Soft. Careful. Then he heard a voice. "Excuse me. Is this seat taken?" He looked up. The woman from the street stood in front of him. She had taken off her coat. Her hair was damp from the rain. Her eyes were brown and kind. She looked at him like she was asking permission for something more than just a chair. "No," Michael said. "It's free." She sat down across from him. She did not say anything at first. She just folded her hands on the table and looked out the window. Michael looked at her. He did not mean to stare, but something about her face made him forget to look away. "It's a quiet evening," she said after a moment. "Yes," Michael said. "It is." "Do you come here often?" she asked. "No," he said. "First time." She nodded. "Me too." There was a pause. Not an awkward one. Just a pause. Like 2 people standing at the edge of something they did not understand yet. "I'm Sarah," she said. "Michael," he said. They shook hands. Her hand was warm. His was cold from holding the coffee cup. "Your coffee is cold," she said, smiling just a little. "I know," he said. "Why didn't you drink it?" He did not know how to answer that. So he just shrugged. "I guess I forgot." Sarah looked at him for a long moment. Then she said something that made his heart beat a little faster. Sometimes we forget to do the simplest things when we're thinking too hard about everything else. Michael felt something crack open inside him. Something small. Something he thought was locked forever. "Yeah," he said quietly. "I think you're right." They talked for an hour. At first, it was just small things. The weather. The rain. The cafe. But then the conversation deepened. Not because they tried to make it deep, but because neither of them was pretending. "I haven't done this in a long time," Sarah said. "Done what?" Michael asked. "Talked to a stranger." "Really talked?" "Me neither," he said. "Why not?" she asked. Michael looked down at his hands. "I think I stopped believing it mattered." Sarah did not say anything for a moment. Then she said, "I used to feel that way too." "What changed?" he asked. "I realized that believing something doesn't matter is just another way of protecting yourself from being hurt." Michael felt those words sink into him like stones into water. "You're right," he said. Sarah smiled. It was a sad smile. A smile that understood too much. "Are you married?" she asked. "Divorced," he said. 5 years now." "I'm sorry," she said. "It's okay," he said. "It was the right thing. We just stopped being what we needed." Sarah nodded. "I lost my husband 3 years ago." Michael felt his chest tighten. "I'm so sorry." "Thank you," she said. "It was hard. It still is. But I'm learning to live with it." "Do you have children?" he asked. "One. A son. He's 26 now. He lives in another city. We talk every week." "I have 2, Michael said. "A daughter, Emma. She's 28. And a son, Ben. He's 25. "Do you see them often?" Sarah asked. "Not as much as I'd like," Michael said. "They have their own lives. I don't want to get in the way." Sarah looked at him carefully. "I don't think you'd be in the way." "Maybe," Michael said. "But I think they see me differently now. Since the divorce. Like I'm less." "Less what?" Sarah asked. "Less whole." Sarah reached across the table. She did not touch his hand, but she put her hand close. Close enough that he could feel the warmth. "You're not less," she said. "You're just different. And different is not the same as broken." Michael felt his throat tighten. He did not cry. But he wanted to. "Thank you," he said. They sat in silence for a while. The cafe was almost empty now. The rain had stopped. The world outside looked clean and new. I should go, Sarah said. But I'd like to talk to you again. If that's okay. Michael felt something he had not felt in years. Hope. I'd like that too, he said. They exchanged phone numbers. Sarah stood up. She put on her coat. She looked at him one more time. Good night, Michael, she said. Good night, Sarah, he said. She walked to the door. She turned back once. She smiled. Then she was gone. Michael sat alone at the table. But this time, the silence did not feel empty. It felt full. Full of possibility. 3 days passed. Michael thought about Sarah every day. He thought about her voice. Her smile. The way she had looked at him like he was worth listening to. But he did not call. He told himself it was because he was busy. He had work. He had things to do. But the truth was simpler. He was afraid. Afraid that she would not answer. Afraid that she had forgotten him. Afraid that the connection he felt was only in his head. On the third night, his daughter Emma called. Hi, Dad, she said. Hi, sweetheart, Michael said. What are you doing? She asked. Just sitting here, he said. You sound different, Emma said. Different how? He asked. I don't know. Lighter, maybe. Did something happen? Michael hesitated. Then he told her. He told her about the cafe. About Sarah. About the conversation that had stayed with him for 3 days. Emma was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Dad, you need to call her. I don't know, Michael said. Why not? Emma asked. What if she doesn't want to talk to me? He said. Then you'll know. But what if she's sitting there right now thinking the same thing about you? Michael felt his heart beat faster. You're right, he said. I know I am, Emma said. Call her, Dad. You deserve this. After they hung up, Michael stared at his phone. He looked at Sarah's number. He took a deep breath. Then he called. It rang once. Twice. 3 times. Then her voice. Hello. Hi, Sarah. It's Michael. There was a pause. Then he heard her smile through the phone. I was hoping you'd call, she said. Michael felt something release inside him. Something he had been holding tight for years. I'm sorry it took so long, he said. It's okay, she said. I understand. Would you like to meet again? He asked. Maybe for dinner? I'd like that very much, she said. They made plans. Saturday night. A small restaurant near the water. Nothing fancy. Just quiet and warm. When they hung up, Michael sat in his living room and felt something he had almost forgotten. He felt alive. Saturday came slowly. Michael spent the day cleaning his house. He did not know why. Sarah would not see it. But he wanted to feel prepared. He wanted to feel like he had his life together. Even if he knew that was not completely true. He put on a clean shirt. Dark blue. Emma had bought it for him last Christmas. He looked at himself in the mirror. He was 55. His hair was gray at the sides. His face had lines. But his eyes looked different tonight. They looked awake. He drove to the restaurant. It was a small place with windows that looked out at the bay. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. The water was calm. He arrived early. He sat at a table by the window. He ordered water. He waited. Then he saw her. Sarah walked through the door. She wore a simple dress. Dark green. Her hair was pulled back. She looked beautiful. Not in a loud way. In a way that was real. She saw him. She smiled. Michael stood up. He did not know if he should hug her or shake her hand. Sarah made the choice for him. She gave him a gentle hug. It was brief. But it was warm. Hi, she said. Hi, he said. They sat down. For a moment, neither of them spoke. They just looked at each other. And it did not feel awkward. It felt right. You look nice, Sarah said. So do you, Michael said. They ordered food. Simple things. Pasta. Salad. Wine. They talked while they waited. They talked about their children. Their jobs. Their lives. But they also talked about the things people do not usually say. The things that are harder to speak out loud. I've been thinking about something, Sarah said. What? Michael asked. About why I sat with you that night. At the cafe. What do you mean? He asked. I saw you through the window before I came in. You looked so lost. And I felt something. Like I knew what that felt like. Michael nodded slowly. I was lost. I think I still am sometimes. Me too, Sarah said. But I think maybe we're supposed to be lost for a while. So we know what it feels like to be found. Michael felt his chest tighten again. This woman. This stranger who was becoming something more. She saw him. Really saw him. I haven't felt found in a long time, he said quietly. Sarah reached across the table. This time she touched his hand. Maybe you will, she said. They ate. They talked. They laughed. It was easy. Natural. Like they had known each other for years instead of days. After dinner, they walked along the water. The air was cool. The stars were beginning to show. Sarah wrapped her arms around herself. Michael took off his jacket and gave it to her. You don't have to, she said. I want to, he said. She put it on. It was too big. But she smiled. They walked in silence for a while. Then Sarah stopped. She looked out at the water. Do you ever think about what your life would have been like if you had made different choices? She asked. All the time, Michael said. Do you regret them? She asked. Michael thought about it. Some of them. But I think regret is just a way of wishing you could control the past. And you can't. No, Sarah said. You can't. They stood there. Side by side. Not touching. But close. I'm glad I met you, Michael said. Sarah turned to look at him. Her eyes were soft. I'm glad I met you too, she said. The next morning, Michael woke up feeling different. He had slept well. No bad dreams. No waking up at 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling. Just sleep. Deep and peaceful. He made coffee. He sat by the window. He thought about Sarah. About the way she had looked at him. About the way she had held his hand. His phone rang. It was Emma. Hi, Dad, she said. Hi, sweetheart, he said. How was dinner? She asked. Michael smiled. It was good. Really good. I can hear it in your voice, Emma said. You sound happy. I think I am, Michael said. Emma was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Dad, can I tell you something? Of course, he said. I've been worried about you. For a long time. Ever since you and Mom split up. You seemed so far away. Like you were here but not really here. Michael felt his throat tighten. I'm sorry, Emma. No, don't apologize, she said. I just want you to know that I'm happy you met someone. Even if it's just someone to talk to. You deserve that. Thank you, Michael said. That means a lot. Are you going to see her again? Emma asked. I think so, Michael said. If she wants to. She will, Emma said. Trust me. They talked for a few more minutes. Then Emma said she had to go. Before she hung up, she said one more thing. Dad! Yeah. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. After they hung up, Michael sat with his coffee and felt something he had not felt in years. He felt like he was not alone anymore. Sarah called him that afternoon. Hi, Michael, she said. Hi, Sarah, he said. I was wondering, she said. Would you like to do something today? Something simple? I'd love to, Michael said. They met at a park near the water. It was a bright day. The sun was warm. The trees were full of leaves. Families walked by with children. Dogs ran in the grass. Sarah brought a blanket. They found a spot under a big tree. They sat down. Sarah had brought sandwiches and fruit. They ate and talked. This reminds me of when I was younger, Sarah said. Before everything got so complicated. What do you mean? Michael asked. I mean life. When you're young, things feel simple. You fall in love. You get married. You have children. You think that's the hard part. But then you realize the hard part is staying. Staying when things get difficult. Staying when you're tired. Staying when you don't know if you can. Michael nodded. I didn't stay. Sarah looked at him. That doesn't make you a bad person. Sometimes it feels like it does, Michael said. Why? She asked. Because I broke something. I broke my family. I broke my wife's trust. And even though it was the right choice, it still feels wrong. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then she said, I think you're carrying too much. What do you mean? He asked. I mean guilt. You're carrying guilt for something that was not all your fault. A marriage takes 2 people to work. And 2 people to break. Michael felt tears in his eyes. He did not try to stop them. I just wish I had tried harder, he said. Maybe, Sarah said. Or maybe you tried as hard as you could with what you had. And that's enough. They sat in silence. Michael wiped his eyes. Sarah did not look away. She just waited. Patient. Kind. Thank you, Michael said. For what? She asked. For not making me feel like I have to be perfect. Sarah smiled. None of us are perfect, Michael. We're just doing our best. They stayed at the park for hours. They talked about their childhoods. Their dreams. Their regrets. They talked about the people they used to be and the people they were becoming. When the sun started to set, they walked back to their cars. I'd like to see you again, Sarah said. Me too, Michael said. How about this week? She asked. I'd love that, he said. They hugged. This time it was longer. Michael felt her warmth, her softness, her strength. When they pulled away, Sarah looked at him. You're a good man, Michael, she said. I'm trying to be, he said. You are, she said. 3 weeks passed. Michael and Sarah saw each other almost every day. Sometimes for coffee. Sometimes for dinner. Sometimes just for a walk. It was easy. Natural. Like breathing. But there was something Michael had been thinking about. Something that scared him a little. He wanted Sarah to meet his children. One night he called Emma. "Hi, Dad," she said. "Hi, sweetheart. Do you have a minute?" he asked. "Of course," she said. "I wanted to ask you something," he said. "How would you feel about meeting Sarah?" Emma was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "I'd love to, Dad." "Really?" he asked. "Really," she said. "I've been hoping you'd ask." Michael felt relief wash over him. "What about Ben?" he asked. "Do you think he'd be okay with it?" "I'll talk to him," Emma said. "But I think he will be. He wants you to be happy too." They made plans. Dinner at Michael's house. Saturday night. Emma and Ben would come. Sarah would come. It would be simple. Just the 5 of them. Michael spent all day Saturday preparing. He cleaned the house. He cooked. Roast chicken. Potatoes. Vegetables. Nothing fancy. Just good. Emma and Ben arrived first. Emma hugged him tight. "I'm proud of you, Dad," she said. Ben shook his hand. Then he hugged him too. "It's good to see you like this," he said. "Like what?" Michael asked. "Alive," Ben said. The doorbell rang. Michael's heart beat faster. He opened the door. Sarah stood there. She wore a simple dress. She held a bottle of wine. She looked nervous. "Hi," she said. "Hi," Michael said. "Come in." Sarah stepped inside. Emma and Ben stood in the living room. Sarah looked at them. They looked at her. For a moment, no one spoke. Then Emma stepped forward. She smiled. "Hi, Sarah. I'm Emma." "Hi, Emma," Sarah said. "It's so nice to meet you." Ben stepped forward too. "I'm Ben." "Hi, Ben," Sarah said. They all sat down. At first, the conversation was careful. Polite. But then Emma asked Sarah about her son. Sarah's face lit up. She talked about him. About his life. About how proud she was. Emma and Ben listened. They asked questions. They laughed. Michael watched. He felt something settle inside him. Something warm and good. After dinner, they sat in the living room. Sarah told a story about her husband. About how he used to sing to her in the kitchen. Even though he could not sing. Even though it drove her crazy. She laughed. Then her eyes got wet. Emma reached over and touched her hand. "He sounds like he was wonderful," Emma said. "He was," Sarah said. "But I'm learning that life doesn't end when love does. It just changes." Ben nodded. "I think my dad is learning that too." Michael looked at his son. Ben smiled at him. Later, after Emma and Ben left, Sarah helped Michael clean up. "They're wonderful," Sarah said. "They are," Michael said. "I'm lucky." "They love you," Sarah said. "I can see it." "I love them too," Michael said. Sarah put down the dish she was holding. She looked at him. "Thank you for tonight," she said. "For letting me be part of this." "Thank you for being here," Michael said. They stood in the kitchen. "Close." Michael felt something pull him toward her. He did not fight it. He kissed her. It was soft. Gentle. Full of all the things they had not said yet. When they pulled away, Sarah was smiling. "I've been wanting to do that for a while," Michael said. "Me too," Sarah said. But not everything was easy. A few days later, Michael got a call from his ex-wife, Linda. "Hi, Michael," she said. Her voice was stiff. "Hi, Linda," he said. "Emma told me you're seeing someone," she said. Michael felt his stomach tighten. "Yes, I am." "That's good," Linda said. But her voice did not sound like she thought it was good. "Is something wrong?" Michael asked. Linda was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "No. I just wanted to hear it from you." "Okay," Michael said. "Is there anything else?" "Are you serious about her?" Linda asked. Michael did not know how to answer that. Because the truth was, yes. He was serious. More serious than he thought he could be about anyone again. "Yes," he said. "I think I am." Linda was quiet again. Then she said, "I hope she makes you happy." "Thank you," Michael said. "But Michael?" "Yeah. Don't forget that you have responsibilities. To your children. To your life." "I haven't forgotten," Michael said. "Good," Linda said. Then she hung up. Michael sat with the phone in his hand. He felt heavy, like the past was sitting on his chest. That night, he told Sarah about the call. They were sitting on his couch. The room was dark except for one lamp. "She's angry," Michael said. "Maybe," Sarah said. "Or maybe she's hurt." "Why would she be hurt?" Michael asked. "She moved on years ago." "Moving on doesn't mean you stop caring," Sarah said. "It just means you choose to live your life differently." Michael looked at her. "Do you ever feel guilty?" About being happy. Sarah nodded. All the time. After my husband died, I felt guilty for wanting to smile again. For wanting to laugh. For wanting to live. What changed? Michael asked. I realized that he would want me to be happy. That staying sad was not a way of honoring him. It was just a way of punishing myself. Michael felt those words settle into him. I think I've been punishing myself for a long time, he said. I know, Sarah said. But you don't have to anymore. She took his hand. She held it tight. You deserve to be happy, Michael. You deserve to love and be loved. And you don't have to apologize for that. Michael felt tears in his eyes again. This time he let them fall. Sarah pulled him close. She held him. And for the first time in years, Michael let himself be held. A few weeks later, Michael did something he had been avoiding for years. He went back to the house where he used to live with Linda and the kids. Linda had called. She needed help moving some old furniture. Ben was busy. Emma was out of town. So she asked Michael. He said yes. When he pulled up to the house, he felt a strange ache in his chest. The house looked the same. Same blue paint. Same tree in the front yard. Same mailbox. But it was not his anymore. Linda opened the door. She looked older. Tired. But she smiled. Hi, Michael, she said. Hi, Linda, he said. He stepped inside. The house smelled the same. Like home. Or like what home used to be. The furniture is upstairs, Linda said. They went up together. They moved a dresser. A bookshelf. A chair. They did not talk much. Just small things. The weather. The kids. Work. When they were done, Linda made coffee. They sat at the kitchen table. Thank you for helping, Linda said. Of course, Michael said. They sat in silence for a moment. Then Linda said, Emma really likes her. Michael looked up. Sarah? Yes, Linda said. Emma told me she's kind. That she makes you smile. Michael nodded. She does. Linda looked down at her coffee. I'm glad. I really am. Thank you, Michael said. But I need to ask you something, Linda said. Okay, Michael said. Are you happy? Really happy? Michael thought about it. Then he said, Yes. I think I am. Linda smiled. It was a sad smile. But it was real. Good, she said. You deserve that. So do you, Michael said. I'm getting there, Linda said. They talked for a little while longer. About the past. About the mistakes they had both made. About the things they wished they had done differently. I think we did the best we could, Linda said. I think so too, Michael said. When Michael left, Linda walked him to the door. She hugged him. It was brief. But it was warm. Take care of yourself, Michael, she said. You too, Linda, he said. As he drove away, Michael felt something lift off his shoulders. Something he had been carrying for a long time. He called Sarah. Hi, he said. Hi, she said. How did it go? Better than I thought, he said. I'll tell you about it when I see you. I'd like that, she said. I love you, Sarah, Michael said. It was the first time he had said it. Sarah was quiet for a moment. Then she said, I love you too, Michael. The months passed. Michael and Sarah fell into a rhythm. They saw each other almost every day. They cooked together. They walked together. They talked about everything and nothing. Michael met Sarah's son, David. David was quiet at first. Careful. But over time, he warmed up. He saw how his mother smiled around Michael. He saw how Michael treated her with respect and kindness. I like him, Mom, David said one day. Sarah felt her eyes fill with tears. I'm glad, sweetheart. Emma and Ben loved Sarah. They called her. They visited. They made her part of their lives. One night, all of them had dinner together. Michael and Sarah, Emma and Ben, David and his girlfriend Rachel. They sat around Michael's table. They ate. They laughed. They told stories. At one point, Ben raised his glass. To family, he said. Old and new. Everyone raised their glasses. To family, they said. Michael looked around the table. At his children. At Sarah. At David. At Rachel. He felt full. Not in his stomach. In his heart. Later that night, after everyone left, Sarah and Michael sat on the couch. That was perfect, Sarah said. It was, Michael said. Do you ever think about the future? Sarah asked. What do you mean? Michael asked. I mean us. Do you think about what comes next? Michael took her hand. All the time, he said. I think about waking up next to you. I think about growing old with you. I think about all the small, boring, beautiful moments we'll have together. Sarah smiled. Tears ran down her face. I think about that too, she said. Will you marry me? Michael asked. The words came out before he even realized he was going to say them. Sarah looked at him. Her eyes were wide. What? She said. I know it's fast. I know we haven't been together that long. But I don't want to waste any more time. I love you. I want to build a life with you. Sarah's tears came faster now. She put her hand on his face. Yes, she said. Yes, I'll marry you. Michael pulled her close. He kissed her. And in that moment, everything felt right. But even happy things can be scary. A few days after Michael proposed, Sarah called him. Can we talk? She asked. Her voice sounded tight. Of course, Michael said. What's wrong? Can you come over? She asked. Michael drove to her house. When she opened the door, he could see she had been crying. What happened? He asked. They sat down in her living room. Sarah looked at her hands. I'm scared, she said. Of what? Michael asked. Of this. Of us. Of everything. Michael felt his heart sink. Do you not want to marry me? No, it's not that, Sarah said quickly. I do want to marry you. But I'm scared that I'm not ready. That I'm betraying my husband. That I'm moving too fast. Michael took her hand. Sarah, look at me, he said. She looked up. Her eyes were red. You are not betraying anyone, he said. You are allowed to be happy. You are allowed to love again. Your husband would want that for you. I know, Sarah said. But knowing it and feeling it are two different things. I know, Michael said. But we don't have to rush. We can take as much time as you need. Really? Sarah asked. Really, Michael said. I'm not going anywhere. Sarah leaned into him. He held her. Thank you, she said. For what? He asked. For understanding. They sat like that for a long time, just holding each other. Later, Sarah pulled back. She looked at him. I want to do this, she said. I want to marry you. But I need to do it in my own time. In my own way. Okay, Michael said. We'll do it your way. Sarah smiled. It was a small smile. But it was real. A few weeks later, Emma came to visit Michael. She seemed different. Quiet. Nervous. Is everything okay, sweetheart? Michael asked. Emma sat down. She looked at her hands. Dad, I need to tell you something, she said. Michael felt a spike of fear. What is it? I've been seeing someone, Emma said. For about 6 months. Michael relaxed a little. That's wonderful, Emma. Why didn't you tell me? Emma looked up. Her eyes were wet. Because I wasn't sure how you'd react, she said. Why? Michael asked. Because it's serious. And I didn't know if you'd think I was moving too fast. Or if you'd be disappointed. Michael moved closer. He took her hand. Emma, I could never be disappointed in you. I'm happy for you. Tell me about him. Emma smiled a little. His name is James. He's kind. He makes me laugh. He's patient with me. He sounds wonderful, Michael said. He is, Emma said. But I've been scared to let myself be happy. Because I keep thinking about you and Mom. About how things fell apart. And I'm scared that will happen to me. Michael felt his heart break a little. Emma, what happened with your mother and me was not your fault. And it doesn't mean the same thing will happen to you. I know, Emma said. But it's hard not to be scared. I understand, Michael said. But you can't live your life in fear. You have to take risks. You have to let yourself love and be loved. Emma looked at him. Is that what you're doing with Sarah? Yes, Michael said. And it's the best decision I've ever made. Emma hugged him. I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetheart. Later, Emma asked if she could bring James to meet him. Michael said yes. He was excited. And a little nervous. But mostly he was proud. Proud of his daughter. Proud of the woman she had become. James was tall. Quiet. He had kind eyes and a firm handshake. Michael liked him immediately. They had dinner at Michael's house. Sarah was there too. Emma seemed nervous at first. But as the evening went on, she relaxed. James talked about his job. He was a teacher. He taught history at a high school. I love it, James said. The kids drive me crazy sometimes. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. That's how I feel about my work, Sarah said. Even on the hard days, I know I'm doing something that matters. James nodded. Exactly. After dinner, Emma and Sarah went to the kitchen to make coffee. Michael and James sat in the living room. Can I ask you something? James said. Of course, Michael said. What's your secret? James asked. My secret? Michael asked. To being a good father. To raising someone like Emma. Michael thought about it. Then he said, I don't know if I have a secret. I made a lot of mistakes. But I always tried to show up. Even when it was hard. Even when I didn't know what to do. James nodded. That's good advice. Are you thinking about a future with Emma? Michael asked. James looked at him. His face was serious. Yes, sir. I am. Good, Michael said. She deserves someone who's sure. I am sure, James said. Michael reached out and shook his hand again. Then you have my blessing, Michael said. James smiled. Thank you. Later, after Emma and James left, Sarah and Michael sat on the couch. He's good for her, Sarah said. He is, Michael said. You're a good father, Michael, Sarah said. I'm trying, Michael said. You are, Sarah said. And that's what matters. 2 months passed. The engagement was real. But they had not set a date. Sarah said she needed time. Michael said he understood. But sometimes late at night, Michael wondered if she would change her mind. One evening, Sarah asked him to come over. She sounded different on the phone. Calm. Certain. When Michael arrived, Sarah had made dinner. Candles were on the table. Music was playing softly. This is beautiful, Michael said. Sit down, Sarah said. They ate. They talked. But Michael could feel something coming. Something important. After dinner, Sarah took his hand. I want to tell you something, she said. Okay, Michael said. I went to visit my husband's grave yesterday, she said. Michael felt his chest tighten. But he stayed quiet. I hadn't been in a while, Sarah said. I was avoiding it. Because I felt guilty. About you. About us. About being happy. Sarah, Michael started. No, let me finish, she said gently. Michael nodded. I sat there for a long time. And I talked to him. I told him about you. About how you make me feel. About how scared I am. About how much I love you. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. And then I felt something. I don't know if it was real or just in my head. But I felt like he was telling me it was okay. That he wanted me to be happy. That loving you didn't mean I loved him any less. Michael felt his own tears coming. I'm ready, Michael, Sarah said. I'm ready to marry you. I'm ready to build a life with you. I'm ready to stop being afraid. Michael pulled her close. He held her tight. Are you sure? He asked. I'm sure, she said. When? Michael asked. Sarah smiled. Soon. Not a big wedding. Just us. Our children. The people we love. That sounds perfect, Michael said. They sat together, holding each other. And Michael felt something he had not felt in so long. He felt peace. They decided on spring. A small ceremony in Sarah's backyard. Under the big oak tree. Just family and a few close friends. Emma helped Sarah pick out a dress. Nothing fancy. Just simple and beautiful. Ben helped Michael with the details. Where to set up the chairs. What music to play. What food to serve. David flew in from his city. He brought Rachel. They were engaged too now. The wedding would be a celebration for both couples. One afternoon, Michael and Ben sat on the back porch of Sarah's house. They were setting up lights in the trees. Dad, can I ask you something? Ben said. Of course, Michael said. Do you think you would have met Sarah if you and Mom had stayed together? Michael thought about it carefully. No, he said. I don't think so. Do you think things happen for a reason? Ben asked. I don't know, Michael said. I think things happen. And then we decide what they mean. Your mother and I, we had a good life together. We had you and Emma. And that will always matter. But we also grew apart. And that's okay. It doesn't make what we had less real. I used to be angry about the divorce, Ben said. I know, Michael said. But I'm not anymore, Ben said. I see you now. I see how happy you are. And I realize that sometimes love changes. It doesn't always end. It just becomes something different. Michael put his hand on his son's shoulder. That's very wise, Ben, he said. I learned it from you, Ben said. They finished hanging the lights. When the sun set, they turned them on. The backyard glowed. It looked like something from a dream. Sarah came outside. She saw the lights. She put her hand over her mouth. It's beautiful, she said. You're beautiful, Michael said. Sarah walked over to him. She kissed him softly. I can't wait to marry you, she said. I can't wait either, Michael said. The day before the wedding, Michael's phone rang. It was Linda. Hi, Michael, she said. Hi, Linda, he said. I just wanted to call and wish you well, she said. Tomorrow's a big day. Thank you, Michael said. That means a lot. I mean it, Linda said. I'm happy for you. Sarah seems like a wonderful woman. She is, Michael said. There was a pause. Then Linda said, Do you remember our wedding day? Of course I do, Michael said. I was so nervous, Linda said. I thought I was going to trip walking down the aisle. You didn't, Michael said. You were perfect. We were young, Linda said. We were, Michael said. But we loved each other, Linda said. That was real. It was, Michael said. I don't regret it, Michael, Linda said. Any of it. Even the hard parts. Because it gave us Emma and Ben. And they're the best thing either of us ever did. Michael felt his throat tighten. I don't regret it either, he said. Be happy, Michael, Linda said. You deserve it. So do you, Michael said. I'm working on it, Linda said. After they hung up, Michael sat with the phone in his hand. He felt grateful. Grateful for Linda. For their past. For the grace she was showing him now. That night, Emma and Ben came over. They ordered pizza. They sat in the living room and talked. Are you nervous, Dad? Emma asked. A little, Michael said. About what? Ben asked. About messing it up, Michael said. About not being enough. Emma moved closer. She took his hand. Dad, you are enough. You've always been enough. And Sarah knows that. She's right, Ben said. Sarah loves you for who you are. Not for who you think you should be. Michael looked at his children. His beautiful, wise children. I love you both so much, he said. We love you too, Dad, Emma said. They stayed up late. Talking. Laughing. Remembering. And Michael realized something. His life was full. Not perfect. But full. And that was enough. The morning was clear and bright. Michael woke up early. He made coffee. He sat by the window and watched the sun rise. Today he was getting married. He felt nervous. But he also felt ready. Ben arrived at 8. He brought Michael's suit. They got ready together. You look good, Dad, Ben said. Thanks, son, Michael said. At 10, they drove to Sarah's house. The backyard was ready. White chairs in rows. Flowers on the arch lights in the trees. Guests started to arrive. David and Rachel. A few of Sarah's friends. A few of Michael's. Linda came too. She hugged Michael. Congratulations, she said. Thank you for coming, Michael said. I wouldn't miss it, she said. Emma came down the stairs. She wore a soft blue dress. She looked beautiful. Have you seen her? Michael asked. I have, Emma said. Dad, she's stunning. Michael's heart beat faster. The music started. Everyone sat down. Michael stood at the front with the officiant. Ben stood beside him. Then Sarah appeared. She walked down the aisle alone. Her dress was simple. Cream-colored. Her hair was loose. She held a small bouquet of white roses. But it was her face that took Michael's breath away. She was glowing. Smiling. Her eyes locked on his. When she reached him, she took his hands. The officiant spoke. But Michael barely heard the words. He just looked at Sarah. Then it was time for vows. Michael went first. He had written them down. But when he looked at Sarah, he forgot the paper. He just spoke from his heart. Sarah, he said. When I met you, I thought my life was over. I thought I had used up all my chances at love. But you showed me that love doesn't run out. It just waits. Waits for the right person. The right time. The right moment. You are my right person. Today. Tomorrow. For the rest of my life. I promise to love you. To honor you. To stand beside you. In the easy times and the hard times. I promise to never take you for granted. And I promise to remind you every day how grateful I am that you sat down at my table that quiet evening. Sarah was crying. Happy tears. Then it was her turn. Michael, she said. I thought I would never love again. I thought my heart was too broken. Too full of the past. But you showed me that the heart is bigger than we think. That it can hold the past and the present and the future all at once. You are patient. You are kind. You see me. Really see me. And you make me want to be brave. I promise to love you with everything I have. I promise to support you. To laugh with you. To grow old with you. And I promise to never forget how lucky I am to have found you. The officiant smiled. By the power vested in me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Michael, you may kiss your bride. Michael leaned in. He kissed Sarah softly. Gently. Like a promise. Everyone stood up and clapped. Emma and Ben cheered. David whistled. Michael and Sarah walked back down the aisle together. Hand in hand. They were married. The reception was simple and warm. They ate. They danced. They laughed. Emma gave a speech. She talked about how happy she was to see her father smile again. She welcomed Sarah into their family. She cried. Everyone cried. Ben gave a speech too. He talked about love. About second chances. About how proud he was of his father. David stood up. He talked about his mother. About how strong she was. About how much his father would have loved Michael. Dad would want you to be happy, Mom, David said. And I can see that you are. Michael, thank you for taking care of her. Michael felt his throat tighten. He nodded at David. Later, Michael and Sarah danced. It was their first dance as husband and wife. The song was slow. Soft. Sarah rested her head on Michael's shoulder. Are you happy? Michael asked. So happy, Sarah said. Me too, Michael said. They swayed together, surrounded by the people they loved, under the lights, under the stars. And Michael thought about the cafe, about the rain, about the moment Sarah sat down at his table. One quiet evening that changed everything. Later that night, after all the guests had gone home, Michael and Sarah sat on the back porch. The lights were still on. The chairs were still set up. The flowers were still fresh. We did it, Sarah said. We did, Michael said. How do you feel? She asked. Like the luckiest man in the world, he said. Sarah leaned into him. I was so scared for so long. Scared that loving you meant forgetting him. But I realize now that love doesn't replace love. It just adds to it. That's beautiful, Michael said. You taught me that, Sarah said. They sat in comfortable silence. The kind of silence that only comes when two people truly know each other. What do you think happens next? Sarah asked. What do you mean? Michael said. I mean tomorrow. And the day after. And all the days after that. Michael thought about it. I think we wake up, he said. We have coffee. We talk. We laugh. We have hard days and good days. We grow old together. We love each other. And we're grateful. That sounds perfect, Sarah said. It does, doesn't it? Michael said. Sarah looked up at him. I love you, Michael. I love you too, Sarah, he said. They went inside. They turned off the lights. They went to bed. And as Michael lay next to his wife, he felt something he had not felt in so many years. He felt complete. Life settled into a rhythm. Michael and Sarah merged their lives. Sarah moved some of her things into Michael's house. They made it theirs. Together. They had dinner with Emma and James. With Ben and his girlfriend Sophie. With David and Rachel. They became a family. Not in the traditional way, but in the way that mattered. Through love. Through choice. Through showing up. One Sunday afternoon, they all gathered at Michael's house. Sarah's house. Their house. Emma and James announced they were engaged. Everyone cheered. When's the wedding? Sarah asked. Next summer, Emma said. And I want you to help me plan it, Sarah. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. I would love that. Later, Michael and Emma stood in the kitchen. Thank you, Dad, Emma said. For what? Michael asked. For showing me what it looks like to start over. To take risks. To love again. Michael hugged her. You're going to be so happy, sweetheart. I already am, Emma said. That night, after everyone left, Michael and Sarah sat on the couch. This is nice, Sarah said. What is? Michael asked. This. Us. All of it. It is, Michael said. Do you ever think about that night? Sarah asked. At the cafe? All the time, Michael said. What would have happened if I hadn't sat down? Sarah asked. Michael thought about it. I don't know. But I'm glad you did. Me too, Sarah said. She curled into him. He put his arm around her. Michael? Sarah said. Yeah. Thank you. For what? He asked. For not giving up. For believing that love could find you again. Thank you for finding me, Michael said. They sat together. In the quiet. In the peace. In the love they had built together. A year after their wedding, Michael and Sarah sat in the same backyard where they had gotten married. It was evening. The sun was setting. The lights were on in the trees. Can you believe it's been a year? Sarah asked. No, Michael said. It feels like yesterday. And also like forever. I know what you mean, Sarah said. They had been through a lot in that year. Good things and hard things. Sarah's mother had gotten sick. Michael had helped take care of her. Ben had moved to a new city for work. Emma had gotten married. Life had kept moving. But they had moved with it. Together. Do you have any regrets? Sarah asked. About what? Michael asked. About us. About getting married. Michael turned to look at her. Not one. Do you? No, Sarah said. Not one. Good, Michael said. I was thinking, Sarah said. Maybe we should take a trip. Just the two of us. Somewhere we've never been. I'd like that, Michael said. Where do you want to go? I don't know, Sarah said. Somewhere with mountains. And quiet. And good food. That sounds perfect, Michael said. They started planning. Looking at pictures. Talking about what they wanted to see. It felt good. To have something to look forward to. To have someone to dream with. Later that night, as they were getting ready for bed, Sarah said something that made Michael's heart full. I'm glad I'm old with you, she said. Michael laughed. We're not that old. Maybe not, Sarah said. But we're getting there. And I'm glad we're doing it together. Me too, Michael said. He kissed her. And in that kiss was everything. Gratitude. Love. Peace. 2 years after the wedding, Emma called Michael early in the morning. "Dad," she said. Her voice was shaking. "What's wrong?" Michael asked. His heart started racing. "Nothing's wrong," Emma said. "Dad, I'm pregnant." Michael felt his whole body relax, then fill with joy. "Emma, that's wonderful," he said. "I'm scared," Emma said. "That's normal," Michael said. "But you're going to be an amazing mother." "How do you know?" Emma asked. "Because I know you," Michael said. "And I know your heart." Emma started crying. "I love you, Dad." "I love you too, sweetheart," Michael said. Sarah woke up. "What's going on?" "Emma's pregnant," Michael said. Sarah's face lit up. "Oh, Michael." She took the phone. "Emma? Congratulations, sweetheart. This is such wonderful news." They talked for a while, making plans, talking about baby things, talking about the future. When they hung up, Michael and Sarah sat in bed together. "We're going to be grandparents," Michael said. "We are," Sarah said. "Are you ready for that?" Michael asked. "I think so," Sarah said. "Are you?" "I don't know," Michael said. "But I'm excited to find out." 9 months later, Emma gave birth to a baby girl. They named her Grace. Michael held her for the first time in the hospital. She was so small, so perfect. "Hi, Grace," he whispered. "I'm your grandpa." Grace opened her eyes. She looked at him, and Michael felt his heart crack open even wider. Sarah stood next to him. She put her hand on his shoulder. "She's beautiful," Sarah said. "She is," Michael said. Emma watched from the bed. She was tired but glowing. "Thanks for being here, Dad," she said. "I wouldn't be anywhere else," Michael said. But life was not always easy. 3 years into their marriage, Sarah got sick. It started small. Fatigue. Headaches. Nothing serious. But then it got worse. The doctors ran tests. They found something. A tumor. Benign, but it needed to be removed. Sarah was scared. Michael was scared too. But he did not show it. He had to be strong for her. The surgery was scheduled for January. The winter was cold that year. Snow covered everything. The night before the surgery, Sarah and Michael lay in bed. "What if something goes wrong?" Sarah asked. "Nothing will go wrong," Michael said. "But what if it does?" Sarah asked. Michael turned to face her. He took her hand. "Then I'll be right there with you. No matter what." Sarah's eyes filled with tears. "I'm not ready to leave you." "You're not going to leave me," Michael said. "You're going to have the surgery. You're going to be fine. And then we're going to grow old together just like we planned." "Promise?" Sarah asked. "I promise," Michael said. The surgery took 4 hours. Michael sat in the waiting room with Emma, Ben, and David. They did not talk much. They just waited. When the doctor finally came out, Michael stood up. "The surgery went well," the doctor said. "She's going to be fine." Michael felt his legs almost give out. Emma caught him. "Thank you," Michael said to the doctor. "Thank you." When Sarah woke up, Michael was sitting next to her bed. "Hi," she said. Her voice was weak. "Hi," Michael said. "How do you feel?" "Tired," she said. "But okay." "The doctor said you're going to be fine," Michael said. Sarah smiled. "I told you I wasn't leaving you." Michael laughed. Then he cried. He put his head down on the bed and cried. Sarah put her hand on his head. She ran her fingers through his hair. "It's okay," she said. "I'm okay." "I was so scared," Michael said. "I know," Sarah said. "But we made it." "We did," Michael said. The recovery took months. Sarah had to rest. She could not do much. Michael took care of her. He cooked. He cleaned. He helped her walk. He held her when she cried from frustration. "I hate being weak," Sarah said one day. "You're not weak," Michael said. "You're healing." "It feels the same," Sarah said. "It's not," Michael said. "Weak is giving up." "You're not giving up." Sarah looked at him. "How did I get so lucky to find you?" "I'm the lucky one," Michael said. Emma and Ben visited often. They helped with the house. They sat with Sarah while Michael ran errands. David flew in for a week. He cooked. He made Sarah laugh. And slowly, Sarah got stronger. By spring, she was walking on her own. By summer, she was almost back to herself. One warm evening, they went back to the café where they had first met. It looked the same. Same tables. Same windows. Same smell of coffee. They sat at the same table. Michael ordered coffee. Sarah ordered tea. "Do you remember?" Michael asked. "Of course I do," Sarah said. "How could I forget? That was the best night of my life," Michael said. "Mine too," Sarah said. "I'm glad you sat down," Michael said. "So am I," Sarah said. They held hands across the table, just like they had that first night. Except now they knew each other. Really knew each other. We've been through a lot, Sarah said. We have, Michael said. And we're still here, Sarah said. We are, Michael said. That means something, Sarah said. It means everything, Michael said. 5 years after their wedding, Michael and Sarah renewed their vows. They did it in the same backyard, under the same tree, with the same people. Except now there was Grace. She was 3 years old. She stood next to her mother and held a basket of flowers. Emma was pregnant again, with a boy this time. They were going to name him Thomas. Ben had proposed to Sophie. They would get married next year. David and Rachel had a baby daughter. Her name was Lily. The family had grown. The love had multiplied. Michael stood at the front and watched Sarah walk toward him. She looked just as beautiful as she had 5 years ago. Maybe more. When she reached him, she smiled. Ready to do this again? She asked. Always, he said. This time they had not written vows. They just spoke. Sarah, Michael said. 5 years ago I promised to love you, to stand beside you, to be grateful for you every day. I have kept that promise, and I will keep it for the rest of my life. You are my home, my peace, my love. Sarah wiped her eyes. Michael, she said, you saved me. Not from anything, just from being alone, from thinking that my life was over. You showed me that life keeps going, that love keeps growing, and that the best moments can come when you least expect them. I love you. Today. Tomorrow. Always. They kissed. Everyone clapped. Grace threw flowers in the air. Yay, she yelled. Everyone laughed. At the reception, Michael gave a speech. Thank you all for being here, he said. 5 years ago, I thought love was over for me. I thought I had used up all my chances. But then I met Sarah. One quiet evening, in a small cafe, and everything changed. She taught me that love doesn't end. It just changes form. It grows. It deepens. It becomes something richer and more real. I look around this yard, and I see all the love we have created together. Our children, our grandchildren, our friends, and I am overwhelmed with gratitude. So thank you, Sarah, for sitting at my table, for taking a chance on a lost man, for choosing me. Every day. I love you. Sarah stood up. She kissed him, and everyone cheered. The years continued. Michael and Sarah grew older together. Their hair turned more gray. Their bodies moved slower. But their love stayed strong. They had a routine. Every evening, they sat on the back porch. They watched the sun set. They talked about their day. About the children. About the grandchildren. About nothing and everything. Do you remember when we were young? Sarah asked one evening. We're not that old, Michael said. Sarah laughed. We're getting there. I suppose we are, Michael said. Do you have any regrets? Sarah asked. Michael thought about it. I wish I had met you sooner. I wish we had more time. But then we wouldn't be who we are, Sarah said. We needed our pasts to become the people we needed to be for each other. That's true, Michael said. So no regrets, Sarah said. No regrets, Michael agreed. They sat in comfortable silence. The kind of silence that only comes after years of loving someone. Years of knowing them. Years of choosing them. Michael, Sarah said after a while. Yeah, thank you for my life. Michael felt tears in his eyes. Thank you for mine. They held hands. And they watched the sun set. Just like they had done thousands of times before. Just like they would do thousands of times again. One afternoon, Grace came to visit. She was 8 now. Smart. Curious. Kind. She sat with Michael on the porch. Sarah was inside making cookies. Grandpa? Grace asked. Yes, sweetheart. Michael said. How did you know you loved Grandma, Sarah? Michael smiled. That's a big question. I know, Grace said. But I want to know. Michael thought about it. How could he explain it to an 8-year-old? Well, he said. I knew I loved her because she made me want to be better. Not perfect. Just better. She made me feel like I was enough. And she made me feel like the world was a little less lonely. That's nice, Grace said. It is, Michael said. Do you know why you're asking? Grace looked down at her hands. There's a boy at school. His name is Daniel. He's nice to me. He shares his crayons. Michael tried not to smile. That sounds like a good friend. Yeah, Grace said. But sometimes my stomach feels funny when I see him. That's called butterflies, Michael said. Butterflies? Grace asked. Yes. It means you like him. That's okay. That's normal. Did you get butterflies with Grandma Sarah? Grace asked. I did, Michael said. I still do sometimes. Really? Grace asked. Really, Michael said. Sarah came out with cookies. Grace ran to her. Grandma, Grandpa still gets butterflies when he sees you. Sarah laughed. She looked at Michael. Is that true? It is, Michael said. Sarah sat down next to him. She kissed his cheek. I get them too. Grace smiled. Then she took her cookie and ran inside to watch TV. What was that about? Sarah asked. Young love, Michael said. Ah, Sarah said. The best kind. I don't know, Michael said. I think old love is pretty good too. It is, Sarah said. It really is. Not everything was perfect. That same year, Ben called Michael. He sounded upset. Dad, can I come over? He asked. Of course, Michael said. When? Now, Ben said. Michael could hear the pain in his voice. I'll be here. Ben arrived an hour later. His eyes were red. He had been crying. They sat in the living room. Sarah made tea. Then she gave them space. What's going on, son? Michael asked. Ben took a deep breath. Sophie and I are having problems. Michael's heart sank. What kind of problems? We fight all the time. About everything. About nothing. I don't know if we're going to make it. Have you talked to her about this? Michael asked. I've tried, Ben said. But it always ends in another fight. I don't know what to do, Dad. I love her. But I don't know if love is enough. Michael remembered feeling that way. With Linda. All those years ago. Love is important, Michael said. But it's not the only thing. You also need respect. Communication. The willingness to work through hard things together. I don't know if we have that, Ben said. Then you need to find out, Michael said. You need to have a real conversation. No yelling. No blaming. Just honesty. What if she doesn't want to? Ben asked. Then you'll have your answer, Michael said. But you have to try. Because if you don't, you'll always wonder if you could have saved it. Ben nodded. He wiped his eyes. Dad, he said. Yeah. Were you scared? When you and Mom got divorced? Terrified, Michael said. But you did it anyway, Ben said. I did. Because sometimes the scariest thing is also the right thing. Ben stayed for dinner. Sarah made his favorite meal. They talked. They laughed a little. Ben left feeling a little lighter. A week later, Ben called. Sophie and I talked. Really talked. We're going to try counseling. I'm proud of you, son, Michael said. Thanks, Dad, Ben said. 6 months later, Ben and Sophie were better. Not perfect, but better. They had learned to communicate, to listen, to fight fair. And Michael was grateful. Grateful that his son had fought for his love. Grateful that Sophie had fought too. One night, Michael could not sleep. He got up. He went to his office. He sat at his desk. He pulled out a notebook. He started writing. He wrote about his life. About Linda. About the divorce. About the loneliness. About the cafe. About Sarah. He wrote about love. About loss. About second chances. He wrote for hours. When he was done, he read it back. It was his story. His journey. From lost to found. Sarah found him in the morning. She read what he had written. This is beautiful, she said. It's just my thoughts, Michael said. No, Sarah said. It's more than that. It's wisdom. It's hope. You should share this. With who? Michael asked. With anyone who needs to hear it. With anyone who thinks love is over for them. Michael thought about it. Then he nodded. Maybe I will. He never published it. But he did share it. With his children. With his grandchildren. With anyone who asked him about his life. And people listened. Because it was real. Because it was honest. Because it gave them hope. The full circle. 10 years after their wedding, Michael and Sarah went back to the cafe. It was the same day. The same time. The same table. The cafe looked different now. New owners. New paint. But the bones were the same. They sat down. Michael ordered coffee. Sarah ordered tea. 10 years, Sarah said. 10 years, Michael repeated. It feels like a lifetime, Sarah said. It is a lifetime, Michael said. A whole beautiful life together. They sat in comfortable silence. Then Sarah said something that made Michael smile. If I could go back and do it all again, I wouldn't change a thing. Not even the hard parts? Michael asked. Not even the hard parts, Sarah said. Because they made the good parts matter more. Michael reached across the table. He took her hand. I love you, Sarah. I love you too, Michael. They finished their drinks. They stood up. They walked to the door. Before they left, Michael turned back. He looked at the table where they had met. And he thought about that quiet evening. The rain. The woman with the black umbrella. The moment that changed everything. He thought about all the years since. The love. The laughter. The struggles. The growth. And he thought about all the years still to come. Sarah took his hand. Ready? She asked. Ready, he said. They walked out together. Into the sunlight. Into the rest of their lives. And Michael knew. He knew with absolute certainty. Love was not over at 55. It was just beginning. Years later, when Michael was 78 and Sarah was 76, Michael wrote a letter. He wrote it for his grandchildren. For anyone who would read it after he was gone. It said this: Dear ones, I want to tell you something important. Something I learned late in life, but wish I had known sooner. Love does not have an expiration date. It does not run out. It does not leave when you get older or when life gets hard. It just waits. It waits for you to be ready. It waits for you to be brave. It waits for you to open the door and let it in. I thought my life was over at 55. I thought I had made too many mistakes. I thought I was too old, too tired, too broken. But then I met someone. One quiet evening. In a small cafe. And everything changed. She did not fix me. She did not save me. She just saw me. Really saw me. And she chose to sit down. That one choice led to a lifetime of love. Of growth. Of joy. So if you are reading this and you feel lost, please know this. It is never too late. It is never too late to love. It is never too late to start over. It is never too late to be happy. Do not let fear keep you from trying. Do not let the past keep you from moving forward. Do not let loneliness convince you that you are meant to be alone. You are not. Love is waiting for you. Maybe in a cafe. Maybe in a park. Maybe in a place you least expect. All you have to do is be open. Be brave. Be willing to sit down. I am grateful for every day I have had with Sarah. Every laugh. Every tear. Every quiet evening on the porch. Every sunrise. Every sunset. I am grateful for my children. For my grandchildren. For the family we built together. But most of all, I am grateful that I did not give up. That I kept believing, even when it was hard. And I want you to believe too. Life is not perfect. Love is not perfect. But they are both worth it. So take the chance. Open your heart. Let love find you. Because you deserve it. You deserve joy. You deserve peace. You deserve love. And it is never, ever too late. With all my love. Michael. Sarah found the letter years later, after Michael had passed peacefully in his sleep at the age of 81. She read it sitting on their porch. Tears ran down her face. But she was smiling. Emma and Ben came over. Sarah showed them the letter. They read it together. They cried together. He was right, Emma said. It's never too late. No, Sarah agreed. It's not. That evening, Sarah did something she had not done in years. She went back to the cafe. It looked completely different now. Knew everything. But the energy felt the same. She ordered tea. She sat at a table by the window. She watched the street. A young man came in. He looked lost. Sad. He ordered coffee and sat alone. Sarah watched him for a moment. Then she stood up. She walked over. Excuse me, she said. Is this seat taken? The young man looked up. He looked surprised. No, he said. It's free. Sarah sat down. She folded her hands on the table. It's a quiet evening, she said. The young man looked at her. Something in his eyes softened. Yes, he said. It is. And Sarah smiled. Because she knew. She knew that love does not end. It just continues. It moves through us. Through our stories. Through our choices to sit down and be brave. She talked with the young man for an hour. About life. About loss. About hope. When she left, she felt Michael with her. In her heart. In her memories. In the love that would never die. She walked home slowly. The stars were bright. The air was cool. And she whispered to the sky. Thank you, my love. For every moment. For every day. For showing me that it's never too late. The wind whispered back. Gentle. Warm. And Sarah knew he had heard her. Michael and Sarah's story did not end when Michael died. It lived on in their children. In their grandchildren. In everyone whose life they touched. Emma told the story to her children. About how Grandpa found love when he thought it was gone. About how Grandma was brave enough to sit down at a stranger's table. Ben told the story to his grandchildren. About patience. About healing. About the power of showing up. Grace grew up and fell in love. When she was scared, she remembered what her grandpa told her. That love makes you want to be better. That it makes the world less lonely. And when Grace got married, she insisted the wedding be in a backyard. Under a tree. With lights strung up everywhere. Just like Grandpa and Grandma Sarah. Sarah lived to be 92. She spent her final years surrounded by love. By family. By the life she and Michael had built together. On her last day, she sat on the porch. Emma held one hand. Ben held the other. Tell me the story again, Grandma. Emma said softly. About the cafe. Sarah smiled. Her eyes were tired but bright. It was raining, she said. And I saw a man sitting alone by the window. He looked so lost. And I thought, I know what that feels like. So you sat down, Emma said. So I sat down, Sarah said. And Grandpa? Ben asked. He was kind, Sarah said. And he was real. And he saw me. From that very first moment he saw me. Did you know? Emma asked. Did you know right away that he was the one? Sarah thought about it. Then she smiled. No, she said. I didn't know right away. But I felt something. Hope, I think. And that was enough. Ben squeezed her hand. I'm so glad you sat down, Grandma. Me too, sweetheart, Sarah said. Me too. She closed her eyes. She thought about Michael. About their life. About every beautiful, difficult, perfect, imperfect moment. And she felt peace. Later that evening, Sarah passed quietly. Surrounded by love. Just as Michael had. At her funeral, Ben read the letter Michael had written. The one about love never being too late. There was not a dry eye in the room. After the service, Emma and Ben stood at their grandparents' graves. The headstones were side by side. Simple. Beautiful. Michael's read, he loved well. Sarah's read, she chose bravely. Emma put flowers on both graves. Do you think they're together? She asked. Ben put his arm around his sister. I do. Me too, Emma said. They stood there for a long time. Just remembering. Just being grateful. And somewhere in a way they could not explain, they felt their grandparents smiling. The story of Michael and Sarah is not just their story. It is the story of everyone who thought it was too late. Too late to love. Too late to start over. Too late to be happy. But it is never too late. As long as you are alive, as long as you are breathing, there is time. Time to be brave. Time to heal. Time to open your heart. Michael was 55 when he met Sarah. He thought his best years were behind him. He thought love was for other people. Younger people. People who had not made mistakes. But he was wrong. His best years were still ahead. Waiting for him. In a cafe. On a quiet evening. In the eyes of a woman brave enough to sit down. And that is the truth this story wants you to know. Your story is not over. No matter how old you are. No matter what has happened. No matter how lost you feel. There is still time. There is still hope. There is still love. All you have to do is believe. All you have to do is be open. All you have to do is be willing to let someone sit down at your table. Because love is not just for the young. It is not just for the perfect. It is not just for the people who have never been hurt. Love is for everyone. For the divorced. For the widowed. For the lonely. For the scared. Love is for you. So do not give up. Do not close your heart. Do not convince yourself that your time has passed. Because somewhere right now someone is looking for you. Someone is hoping to find you. Someone is waiting to sit down at your table. And when they do, when that moment comes, do not run. Stay. Talk. Listen. Be brave. Because that one moment could change everything. Just like it did for Michael. Just like it did for Sarah. Just like it can for you. This is the end of their story. But maybe if you are brave enough, it is the beginning of yours. One final quiet evening. Years after Sarah passed, on a cool autumn evening, something beautiful happened. Emma's daughter, Grace, now 35 and recently divorced, walked into a small cafe. She had not planned to go there. She was just driving. Just trying to clear her head. Just trying to figure out how to start over. The cafe was warm. Quiet. She ordered tea. She sat at a table by the window. She watched the rain. She felt so alone. A man walked in. He was about her age. Maybe a little older. He looked tired. He looked lost. He ordered coffee. He sat down alone. Grace watched him. And she thought about her grandparents. About their story. About the letter her grandfather had written. All you have to do is be brave. Grace took a deep breath. She stood up. She walked over to his table. Excuse me, she said. Is this seat taken? The man looked up. He looked surprised. Then he smiled. No, he said. It's free. Grace sat down. It's a quiet evening, she said. The man looked at her. Really looked at her. Yes, he said. It is. And somewhere in a place beyond words, beyond time, Michael and Sarah smiled. Because love does not end. It just continues. One quiet evening at a time. Remember, it is never too late for love. It is never too late for hope. It is never too late for a new beginning. All you need is the courage to sit down. The courage to stay. The courage to believe that your story is not over. Because it is not. Your best chapter might still be waiting. And all it takes is one quiet evening. One brave choice. One open heart. This is not just Michael and Sarah's story. This is everyone's story. This could be your story. If you let it. If you believe it. If you are brave enough to let love find you one more time.